Hello, my fishies. Welcome to another Discourse with Kat. Yes, I said fishies. I've finally given in to the naming culture. I was kind of on the fence about it for a while, because fishies just was weird to me, but you know what? You guys are in this creative ocean with me. Yes, that is the name of my Discord server. You guys are my fishies, whether you be sharks, piranhas, dolphins, or guppies, okay? Also, if you're a piranha, please don't eat me. So, what am I going to talk about for this Discourse with Kat? Quarantine, and I will get to that eventually. What?
Oh, sorry. Am I interrupting something?
As you can already see, there's been change-ups. I give you permission to switch to another tab. It's okay, there is no filler content. I decided that there was no point in filler content since the point of this video is for me to cover subjects, talk about stuff, blah-de-blah-blah-blah-blah. So, a couple of changes. I used to do a series on this channel, which I kind of let fall off to the side because I got busy, but it used to be called the Nike Check, which was kind of a pat myself on the back for being, productive and moving towards crafting goals and whatnot. That is going to be integrated with this from now on and will not be in every Discourse with Kat, but periodically I will include it. So, covered. You guys are my fishies now. Nike checks will be integrated into Discourse with Kat. The fact that the Discourse with Kat will no longer have visual filler content. And then what's next is really that I'm going to get into it. So for those of you new to the channel and are not understanding why I'm saying Nike check so much, Nike does actually mean victory in Greek. I was being clever and doing a play on words. This can just be that new thing you learned today. Just don't forget to acknowledge your improvement, okay? That's why I'm doing this segment for me. I'm doing it so I acknowledge myself. After all, who is going to, without a doubt, but you. So in the year and a half and some change, if not more, I'm not going to do the math, since my last Nike upload, August 13th, 2018, I have stopped calling myself a crafter per se and just consider myself a multimedia creator. I think of the idea and then I do whatever I have to make it come true. If that means swinging from bookbinding to resin to electronic fiddling and upcycling to complete one project, I'll do it. I think that's an amazing advancement. I don't try to limit myself to one single realm of doing something. I also have moved from night shift to day shift, which has been a fantastic change in my quality of life, so to speak. I was pretty unhappy on night shift for many reasons. That had nothing to do with the job. The job didn't help on occasion, but we're not here to talk about my work. Well, my work. We're here to talk about my crafting work. Anyway, so, moved from day shift to night shift, much happier. Quarantine still sucks, but I see the sun, working on a garden, have plenty of time to do stuff, and I see my family more. So yay for that. I have changed a lot of how I do stuff. I am focusing purely on how to do what I do better, not necessarily to do it to get views. Hence why this Discourse with Kat no longer has filler content. I saw an improvement on the fact that it didn't need filler content because that was not the goal of this video. You were meant to be listening, not seeing as much. Hopefully this is an improvement. Hope you guys are still sticking around. Those of you who have been with me from the start, I appreciate you so much. Those of you who have just started, I appreciate you as well. So, like I said, I will save project breakdowns, project improvements, and stuff that I feel like I've done better for another video. I'm just catching you up on the year and a half of failure to talk about Nike. So, victory to me in making life improvements. Next time I cover Nike, it will be victory to me on making project improvements. Until then, I would like for you all to tell me about your own victories, be it through the crafting that you do, doll making, customizing videos, editing, graphics, whatever you do, hit the comment section, tell me about it. I want to hear. I need to know that I'm not the only one on this journey to improve myself in what I do that makes me happy. So it's shout out time. I am a firm believer if I want to say you did a good job, I should say it, because chances are, and maybe not, that that person hasn't heard it or needs to hear it, and if they hear it all the time, hearing it again won't hurt. So, I'm gonna start with Moonlight Jewel. You guys know who she is, and if you're on my channel and you don't know who she is, I'm actually kind of honored you're on my channel first, but also how? So, Moonlight Jewel recently started a podcast called The Dollcast. She has 2 episodes out, the first one being commissions and selling your work. Episode 2 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 3 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 4 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 5 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 6 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 7 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 8 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 9 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 10 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 11 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 12 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 13 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 14 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 15 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 16 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode 17 is how to stay creative during quarantine times. Episode I've already listened to them. I really like what Elisa's putting out, and I like the energy and the person that Elisa is normally. So you should go check out those podcasts if you even want to think about considering to sell your work. Some of the thoughts she has on it and how she deals with it, not to mention the staying creative during quarantine times. That is a huge thing right now. A lot of us are struggling from the situation and how it makes us feel, and being in close quarters with people that we don't get to see as much, or being kept from seeing the people that we see a lot. So check out those 2 podcasts, and just know that Elisa actually does poll her followers, so that it's one of those things that the topic, if it hasn't been covered and you want to hear her cover it, check out her Instagram, follow her, vote on the topics, and eventually you just might get to hear a subject talked about that you really want to hear somebody else's thoughts on. Check out the Dollcast, it's pretty awesome. Again, if you do want to go check her out, I know I said I don't need your eyes for this, but check out the video right now. It'll have links to all the pertinent information with the Moonlight Jewel and the Dollcast podcast. So, yeah. I'd also like to give a shout out to the amazing Buttiful on Instagram. Not only is she the recipient of my Lightning from Final Fantasy XIII doll, which sadly there will be no video of. The biggest thing I like, and the reason she's getting a shout out from me, is not just because she was in the swap with me and got my doll, but that she is such an inclusive collab starter. She's done a couple of collabs, a witch collab, a Christmas collab, an anime mashup collab, even a Valentine collab. The biggest thing is she's inclusive. No matter how good or not good you might be perceived or feel about yourself, if you want to be part of the collab, she will take you in. And it's just, that's something that's really good about the doll community. I know where your thoughts are going. I'm not going to cover this stuff. The big thing to have to remember is she is inclusive. If you love making dolls, you are welcome in the collabs. Shout out to Buttiful, okay? Also, guys, if you want to beat the Instagram algorithms, you're not going to. If you want to comment on something, just let someone know, no matter how good or bad their stuff might be perceived or how they feel about it, leave a comment. Make somebody's day. And the last shout out is actually going to a collab right now, one that I'm a part of, not trying to be biased here, but the reason it's getting a shout out is because you guys remember the Tink Challenge? Anyone? Try to make as cheap as possible doll. You know, Tink was made on $4 and hopes and dreams and lots of trash. Yeah, same concept, except this collab is based off of The Borrowers and the Secret World of Arietti. Basically, you're making a doll out of whatever you can find, and the doll is going to look like it's borrowed stuff off your table, your kitchen, your trash can, because that's how The Borrowers and the Secret World of Arietti works. They gotta make do with all the stuff from the Giants world, so yeah. Shout out to that awesome concept, and this collab should be done in a couple of months, and I can't wait to point that stuff out. Let's make some awesome, upcycled, borrower Arietti themed dolls. So it's topic time. How to stay positive during quarantine. To my normal everyday folks suddenly stuck at home. And if you're an essential worker, stuck at home and stuck at work, those are your only 2 changes of scenery. I feel your pain. I am slowly going mad at the lack of change of scenery, at the lack of being able to go to my friends, at the lack of Hobby Lobby. Why? It can be mind-numbing, and you've probably already binge-watched all of your to-watch list on Netflix, Hulu, whichever one is your preferred binge-watching medium of choice. I'm there with you. I'm slowly going insane, fighting the urge to sleep all the time. I know it seems hard. I know it seems like it's never gonna end. I know we're all doing this to flatten the curve, to keep our loved ones safe, to keep the immunocompromised and the underlying condition folks from being stuck at a hospital with no ventilator. This is all for good reasons. We still don't have to like it. You have to remember to just stay positive. I'm not saying I want you to shoot rainbows out of your eyes and spit glitter. I want you to realize that this is gonna suck. Stuff is gonna be horrible. The news is gonna make it sound much, much worse than it already is, because the news loves to fearmonger. Fear gets the ratings, guys. Just think about the positives, what you can do when this is over. And if you can't even think that far ahead, focus on something you want to do now that you can do. Learn something new. My positive throughout this whole situation has been that I have started working on the garden. I have time to stay at home. I'm not distracted by, oh, we don't have a hammer, let's go out and buy one. Oh, I want some pizza, let's go out and buy some pizza. I am not wasting that time doing distracting things. I am at home. We're gonna get it together. We're gonna make a garden bed, We already have planted the plants. They're seedlings. They're taking up far too much space as it is. We're going to get them into the growing bed. And then once that happens, gonna have to find a new distraction until this quarantine's over. I'm not saying that I'm not being driven stir crazy and bouncing off the walls. I'm saying I'm trying to just keep myself entertained as best I can. YouTube's there, the internet's there, your local library does actually have online options. I'm sure they do. Get your library card, download the Libby apps, see what you can find on your phone through these apps. This is a great time to crack open a book, learn something. If you guys are currently out of school and you're just being abysmally bored by that 2 hours mandatory school time, just think, if you're not doing it, you fail the grade and you have to repeat. Silver lining, guys, only 2 hours as opposed to the original 8. At least that's how it is in my state, so I hope you have something similar. There is always a way to look at a situation in more positive light or find a good thing about it. If you can't, you're not trying hard enough, and if you're in a situation that you can't look at the positive side, like a horrible example, someone has a gun to your head, how the hell are you supposed to look at the positive side of that? You know, it's yeah, stop trying to be that negative. Try to look for the silver lining. Actually still doing good, despite what the news might be telling you. There are lunch ladies and bus drivers delivering food to kids who otherwise wouldn't be able to eat because school is not in session. That's awesome right there. Not to mention the frontline doctors and nurses trying to keep this pandemic at bay or to flatten the curve as best they can. I mean, come on. There's also positives like people sewing masks for everybody out there as much as they can. You know, there's old ladies that have been quilting all their lives, rolling up their sleeves right now going, my time has come, my people need me, sewing out mask after mask after mask of quilting supplies. I mean, come on. There is good out there. You have to look for it. And if you can't look that far out, look in. What can you do to do better? What can you do to be better? What can you learn? Like I said, this is a great time to catch up on things that you have letting yourself get distracted for. Tell me a positive. Share something good that has come out of this. Not because of this, just your silver lining during a rainy day. Remember, if you're not looking for the good, you'll never find it. Hey, if you stuck around for this whole thing, thank you so much. So, you guys know what's coming. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you liked what I talk about, hit that like button. If quarantine is boring you to tears, check out the comments section. I will be there. If you want active conversation, head over to Fire Tuna Club on Instagram. I also hang out there. Since I know what's coming down the line, next time I'll need your eyes, not just your ears. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.